day, listeners. You're welcome to another episode of Legal Matters brought to you by Studio77. I am your favorite host, Ajayi This Esther. You can also call me Nimad Voice. If this is your first time of watching Legal Matters, well, Legal Matters is a show that makes us aware about our rights, makes you aware about your rights, what your rights are, and what they're not, what actions or inactions shouldn't be done against you. Today, we're diving into 4 different legal cases which would help us know our rights, makes us observant. Of course, it will be so interesting and educative. Let's dive into the first case. When a multinational corporations defile regulatory order, who holds them accountable? This leads us to the first case. MultiChoice faces legal actions over price hike. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission (FCCPC) sued MultiChoice Nigeria Limited and its CEO, John Ube, for ignoring directives to halt a proposed price increase for DSTV and GOtv subscribers in Nigeria. Despite the FCCPC's instructions, MultiChoice proceeded with the price hike on March 1st, 2025. Before you say anything, let's see what the court has to say about this. The case is currently before the Federal High Court in Lagos, with proceedings ongoing. So let's think about this. What's the worst that can happen to MultiChoice in this regard? Can they be asked to leave? Can they be sanctioned? Can they be asked to pay a remittance to their Nigerian subscribers? Can they be forced to sell part of their shares to Nigerians in order to achieve a lower subscription for Nigerian subscribers? What exactly can this verdict be as we await the judgment in the court of law? So thinking about this, you could say, of course they can be asked to leave. We're only thinking about it. Why did I say they can be asked to leave? Because they're from South Africa, but they have the large number of subscribers in Nigeria, and that should be enough for them to be able to comply to this rule, to this law of them reducing their price, because we think it's cheaper in South Africa. So why is it expensive in Nigeria? Well, we await the decision, the judgment in the court of law. Case 2. Court upholds $220 million fine against Meta. The rhetorical question: can global tech giants operate above national laws? So come to think of it, who can operate above national laws? Meta platforms face a $220 million fine from the FCCPC for violating Nigerian consumer and data protection laws. The commission accused Meta of discriminatory practices against Nigerian users compared to other jurisdictions. So what does the court have to say about this? A Nigerian tribunal upheld the fine, reinforcing the country's stance on enforcing its digital and consumer rights regulations. This ruling affirms that even multinational corporations must adhere to national laws, empowering citizens to demand accountability and fair treatment. So, you being a citizen, you as a citizen, you have the right to demand accountability and fair treatment. Case 3. Court orders status quo in marriage and citizenship registration disputes. What happens when government contracts are abruptly terminated? Anchor Dataware Solutions Limited sued the Nigerian government over the alleged wrongful termination of a contract related to the eCitibiz platform, which manages critical processes like epastrate data and marriage documentation. The termination was communicated via a letter dated April 15, 2025. However, the government has not publicly disclosed the reasons behind this action. But let's see what the court has to say about this. The Federal High Court in Abuja ordered all parties to maintain the status quo pending the resolution of the dispute. The citizen impact is that this case highlights the significance of contractor obligations and the legal avenues available to address grievances, emphasizing the rule of law in public-private partnerships. So the law encompasses all organizations, it talks to individuals, organizations, and different type of partnerships. Case 4. Court convicts 125 terrorist suspects in mass trial. You might want to ask, how does the justice system respond to threats against the national security? Let's check. To the case details. In a mass trial at a military detention facility in Kanji, Niger State, the Federal High Court convicted 125 Boko Haram suspects for various terrorism offenses, including financial terrorism and crimes under International Criminal Court status. What does the court have to say about this? The convictions were part of the Giwa Project Kanji Phase 5 conducted by 5 Federal High Court judges. Well, to be frank, this development is actually a very good one for the country at large, because the country has been under the siege of terrorists for a while now, and bringing these terrorists to book there's a high rate of curbing terrorism, curbing terrorist operations in the society. So, with all these legal cases, we've been able to see how the law works for you and I as citizens, directly or indirectly, and the federal government and government parastatals have been able to make the law work for its citizens at large. So, we've come to the end of today's episode on legal matters, brought to you by Studio77. I remain your favorite host, Ajayi Esther. You can also call me the Mad Voice. Stay informed, stay with us, and stay legal. Bye!